Welcome to Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports, where husky middle aged men share insight on the latest Baltimore sports news. From the bank to the yard and beyond, we're breaking down the Ravens, Orioles, Terps, and more. Baltimore's best sports podcast starts now. I'm Jason Weisbecker here with Mike Frisky and John Lanscraner. Gentlemen, how are you?
I am wonderful tonight. It is Selection Sunday, one of my most favorite days of the year, where everybody, Googles 68 teams that they never heard of before, and we hop on and we wait for that beautiful music to play on CBS and get excited.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited and watching the shows and listening to, you know, SIU Edwardsville, been D1 for 17 years. This is the first time they've ever been to the dance, and obviously they'll get, blown out in the first round, but it's all fun and games. Everybody's just excited to be there and to, be getting excited for the next, 4 weeks.
Absolutely. I think everyone is very, very excited unless you're running a business or anything like that where your employees are glued to the TVs and internets or people are calling out the first Thursday and Friday. But other than that,
or you're a teacher, whose kids are trying to stream it on your phone. Mike, you don't have that problem in your class, do you?
No, I don't. So we don't allow cell phones in weight training. But, to circumvent that problem, I just play it up on the big screen while they're lifting anyway. I think it's important that the students get that experience. They fully immerse themselves in the culture of athletics. We don't fill out brackets per se, but if we did, it would be for fun.
Do you do the same thing when they have the 24 hours of basketball in November as well?
Any major sporting event that happens during the day tends to show up on the whiteboard. But like the Olympics, when they're or stuff like that. I know I had summer school, I think, a couple years ago when that happened. So, I think it's an experience for the students related to the world of sports. So I think it's curricular, basically. I think we're putting Jason to sleep with our talk about
exciting.
education.
I remember back in high school.
Yeah, I think we lost Jason again. Jason moved, so we are going to run this show with me and Mike and see what we can get from Jason occasionally. We'll see how his internet works out. But Mike, your high school experience, which teachers would actually skip class the last 2 days of the week and watch basketball?
Oh, well, I know that Al Freeman and Gary Barth had it on. It was definitely on in class. There's no doubt about it. And, I think it's cool. It's one of those things that it brings everyone together when it happens. And, you can get bogged down by the monotony of everyday life, whereas everyone kind of glued to the screen. You never know what's going to happen in the NCAA tournament. Like I said, that music is so nostalgic to me. And you never know which team's going to do it. So, it could be Southwest, Mississippi State University, a school you never heard of in your life. That school doesn't exist, by the way. But it's just really exciting to see them go nose to nose with some of the blue bloods and like UMBC Virginia. And how awesome is that when there's an upset? You just hope it's not your team when it comes down to it, when the big upset's pulled, right?
Right, exactly. I worked with a guy at a Ford dealer who had sat the bench at North Dakota when they went to the tournament, I think in 2009, maybe 2010. And he just said, we knew we were going to get blown out, but we were there. And it was such an exciting time. It was just the more so the stuff behind it, and just saying, you know what, I can tell my Did we lose everybody?
We lost you now.
We're having
I
some
think
technical difficulties today. ladies and
You
gentlemen.
stopped and froze like all together. Like,
Let's see if we remove. So we're having some technical difficulties tonight, but Mike and I are gonna power through this. I wonder if it has to do with Jason's internet connection and moving and things.
yeah. The other thing we could always do is just scrap it and do it like tomorrow night once everything's more set up, something like that,
Yeah.
or Tuesday night.
Yeah, so we can yeah, I would say let's try to do it tomorrow night and see if Jason
I have
can
a
use his.
I have a soccer game. Hold on, let me see when I have a soccer game.
Hold on, we need to let our. I'm ending
Delete
the
this
stream.
recording.